this is Michelle from Mickey Art, and today I'm going to show you how I go from these piles of leftover paint from yesterday's video to creating beautiful cards and framed artworks and even necklace pendants and stuff. So stay with me and let's get this party started. Alright, so I'm just going to show you some photos rather than me scooting it round to show you all the bits. So there's, I don't know, there's nothing particularly jumping out. There's about 3 pieces that are jumping out at me. 2 of them are in here. We've got an area here that I really like and an area here that we really like. And then there's another one over to there, that bit there. So let's get this party started. And I'm really bad in that I love ovals. So I'm gonna go in. Ugh! Well, that piece obviously wanted to be. Look, it dropped off my blue tack. How does it get any better than that? Okay, that piece wanted to be captured. So let's just zoom in and see through the hole what that piece is. How funny. Alright. You chose yourself. That bit got captured. That's so funny. It was like, you're just not acknowledging me. I mean, I'm so beautiful and you have just not. I'm going to just take control and be picked. I'm going to be the choosing one rather than the chosen one. That's so funny. I love it. Alright, I'm going in. It's going to make me really laugh if that's the one that sells out of all of these. Alright, how's that? Do you like that one? That's a bit weird. Weird and wacky. And let's go over here. I'm seeing a square, but it's not going to capture all of it, which is really weird. So I'm going to go in at that point. Let's see what that does. Oh, that's fun. Oh, look, it's a pregnant lady being snuggled by her partner. Hey, how's it get any better than that? Alright. And let's go over to, where is it? Come back to me. There it is. Seem to have a few helicopters going over today, so I apologise if you guys can hear them. I think I'm going to go with a circle for that. So if you guys are new to my channel and haven't seen me dipping cabochons before, that's exactly what I'm doing. I have a cabochon, glass cabochon, which you can find a link for to buy them on Amazon in the description. A bit of blue tack or poster putty stuck on the end of a stick to hold them. And you've just got to make sure that the flat side is down. And you just attach it to the paint. Make sure it's all covered and then peel it off. Oh, that looks like an evil grin from that angle. What else have we got? Oh, a dragon. I look forward to seeing those once they're dry and see what they do. So there is still a lot of paint on my bench, and if you know me at all, you'll know that that is not an acceptable place to be. So let me just lift you back up again, and let's get some of this paint onto some cardboard and make some thing with it. So there's my cabochons sitting with paint side up, and what I'm going to do is just grab my cake spatula thing and just scrape this paint up. Oh, there's so much paint on this. I might be able to do two. And it's super runny. Now, remembering that there is no silicone in this, it's just starting to look like geodes. Look at this piece here. That's just beautiful. And again. Oops, I'm dripping all over my cabochons and my pen. Okay, I need a tray to put that on. I really like that half. That half's really boring. So let me just get a little bit of silicone on my finger. And give it some texture. Look at that. So that, oh, you can't see it. Let me zoom you in so you can. So that's similar to what I did with dipping the toothpick, but I just put that little bit of silicone on my finger. Ooh, that was a very straight line. And it just digs down through all the layers. How cool is that? It's funky. I like it. And you've got so much control as well, because look, it's just only in the area where I've done it. And it's so far out of focus, it's not funny. The other side is still looking just like a geode. How cool. Yay! Alright, let's get the rest of this stuff up. Zoom back out for you to see. See, all this is all paint. Oh, this is nice. I really like that. That's almost, you guys seen those pictures of those like sandstone caves? I don't know where they are, but they're beautiful. It kind of reminds me of that. It's got almost a peachiness to that. I so like it. All right. Look at that. It's so subtle. Just that wincy little shiny bit. Makes all those cells. Oh, wow. Let me get you down and give you close-ups of all of that, because this is so cool. Look how pretty those cells are. Someone out there is screaming at me, but it was pretty before you. Why did you leave it alone? Why do you have to add silicone? I agree. Oops, sorry. I totally agree. And because my target with these bits of cardboard is to make greeting cards out of them, we're going to be cutting them down to quite a small piece. And they need to have some interest. So, there we go. That was fun. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of yumminess. So, I have had super fun with this. I have broken it up into 2 videos because it would have been really long. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll be right back to show you these all when they are dry. The 4 cabochons and the 2 sets of cardboard. If someone out there goes, oh my gosh, you can't cut this up, I must have it, let me know. You've got a little while before I start cutting up to make cards out of it, so you could quite easily just put that into a frame and have a very pretty picture. And same with that. So I'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Alright, they are dry. So, as I promised, I'm going to go through a couple of options of what we can do with these things and how I glue them all together and make all the stuff. I do have individual videos on each of these processes. Well, the main 2 processes. Firstly is how to make cards. This is what they look like in the end. Literally you cut out a piece of card the size you want it. Super difficult, I know. And then you grab yourself some double-sided sticky tape, run it around. I do it around the edge of the card, that way I know that it's going in the right place. Peel the other side off and plonk it down straight, preferably, so that you get a card. Now this is, I buy them in packs like this. I think I got these ones from Warehouse Stationery, but I will find some on Amazon similar and link them if you want to have something to refer to. I feed these. I've got a, didn't go through very straight, look at that. Let's see if we can find a straight one for you. I have a they don't go through very straight, but I made up a Word document which just has this, and when I feed these through, because when they open up they're about an A4 wide, and when I feed them through it prints it on there for me. You could handwrite that if you wanted to. I did to start with, but they take a little bit of time. But then sometimes feeding them through the printer takes time and they get jammed and they get wasted, so maybe doing them by hand is a better idea. So the way I make sure that I get a similar looking card on each of them so they can be displayed in racks and things like that is I have a template, and it's a template of what was cut off, if that makes sense. So you've got the hole in the middle, and that way, and I can't find it, which is why I'm not showing it to you, you can line it up over your image and go, yep, that bit's the bit I want, and then cut it out. So that's what you can do with that. So look, I would get at least 2 cards out of that, maybe not 3, because if we line that right up close to there, it would need paint on there, and that's why you saw me fiddling with some of the edges a little bit. And it's not quite enough to go 3 that way either. 1, 2 and a bit. 2 and a bookmark maybe. So that's what I do with the cards. I used to glue them and weigh them down and keep them flat, and that just got far too hard. And when I found these pre-cut tiny little runs, I just chose to use those instead. Some of you asked me how I keep my card, how my card comes out so flat. There is a slight kink in this one. But it's because accidentally there gets paint underneath because I have grubby hands, and it glues itself to the rack. So that's just then a matter of running a knife or my nail down here, and being careful just to cut the cardboard, the paint, and not through the cardboard, and just ease it off. Okay. Doesn't make the prettiest backing, but hey, put it in a frame. So that's what this is, because I could be here all day getting that off. No, I wouldn't be here all day, but you know, it's well stuck. That's why it doesn't. Anyway, pop that over there. That's what this is. This is, guess what? It's an 8x10 canvas stretcher thing that I pulled apart and used for something else. You'll have seen that in a previous video. And Check this out. Nope, doesn't quite fit on that one because we've got those white spaces. But once that's come off, how pretty is that? Now, these aren't the most pretty frames on the planet. Look at this. They've got, it's really obvious that they're stretches. But if you painted that black, it would be really unnoticeable. And you could just get your pliers and get these old staples off and then staple this to it. Or you could get a piece of MDF the same size and make a backing for it and screw through, just sort of tack it down. There's lots of ways, or you could just glue it in. Or you could go and get a actual frame from a frame shop. Cut it down to size. I have done that, and I think I sold that one, so I can't use that as an example. So that's those ideas. The other idea you can do for using these up, has anybody ever come across these? These are called photo blocks, and they're designed to be the size of a photograph, and you should just be able to, this is just double-sided sticky tape, but a giant piece of it, and you just peel that off and stick normally your photo down. But you can so totally cut this to shape. You could peel and stick it down and then cut it around it, like just once it's stuck down, turn it over and trim the edges off. These are super cool. Well, this one is in particular. I picked it up from a second-hand shop. It's never been used. How cool is that? It comes with a little stick that you can put into any of these little holes that then has it stand that way, or if it's on the bottom hole, that way. But also you can use those spots to hang it on a wall. So I think these are really cool. They're a great idea for using, if you've painted on card, making them something pretty, something maybe saleable or giftable. And so that's another option with those. So cards, put them on frames, put them on photo blocks, cut them out, cut shapes out of them and use them to make, you know, if you're into scrapbooking or card making or anything like that, that's another really cool use for them. And if you're not using them, talk to your crafty friends and see if anybody would like them instead of just throwing them away. So the other thing that we need to look at is our cabochons. Let's get this to focus in the right, find the right spot for focus. Hello. Oh, what's it going to take for you to focus? There we are. Okay. So that's the square one. As soon as we're in the right spot, I will just change cabochons. This one looks like it's got a little animal in it. Kind of reminds me of a badger, but it's got a bit of a long nose for a badger, but I really like that. So I'm thinking I would probably put UV resin on the back of that just to make it sealed, and then I can put a hanging loop of some description, glue that on to the resin and hang it that way rather than having, because all the I don't have an oval one in my hand, sorry, all the oval pendant ones hang the pendant like that with the loop at the small end. But if I wanted to hang it that way, I'd have to do it a different option. But going next one is this one. I do like hanging it that way, so that's totally cool. Look at this. That to me looks like a swan's neck. What about to you? But then that looks like a sail on the ocean with some big waves coming in over it. Oh, it could be so many things, and it could just be something pretty. there's even, can you see there, that looks like a witch's hat. So then you could bring that down. It's the witch laying on a broomstick. All sorts of things can be seen in this one. I love it. It's got so much depth and so much possibility. So the last one that I want to show you is the round one. Now, all the others I've already cleaned them up, but I left this one not cleaned so that I can show you how I clean it. Again, this is all in another video, but I just get a box cutter, sharp blade, some description. You can do it with your finger, but what I've found, what I've found is by using a sharp blade, it creates a cut that leaves a clean line in the paint. And then you can go back and clean above that line. But it just leaves a nice clean line-ish, cleanish line, clean as you're going to get. And why am I cleaning it up? Well, A, some of it is actually over the top. But B, when you are prepping these for gluing or resining, however you're going to attach them, you want to be able to completely encase the paint in your glue or your resin. And what that does, because the paint and the glass are not made for each other, you can buy glass paint. You could do these specifically for that, but as we're using up the leftovers, what you want to do is completely encase the paint. So you want it to be something, a glue or a resin that sticks to glass, and completely encase the paint in it. But you also need to be using one that is quick set. If this sits in moisture for any period of time, you are going to have the paint bubble off, because the moisture sneaks in between the paint and the glass and just kind of jimmies it off. And I've put ones that have been painted for a year in a glass of water, and after half an hour they've peeled off. So you really don't want to be using a glue that takes more than a few minutes to dry. This one here is the one I use. You can't get it on Amazon because it is a New Zealand, Australia only, from as far as I can find out. But this one is ideal for glass and metal, and so that fits that one. And it is the ultra clear, which setting time is 5 minutes. Hello, focus, thank you, there we go. Setting time is 5 minutes, initial bond in 30 minutes, and max bond in 16 hours. So that means within 5 minutes it's gone off. Okay, and that's totally fine. It's great, actually. It works perfectly. I've never had them bubble using this glue. It's a 2-part epoxy resin glue, epoxy adhesive, sorry, it doesn't have the word resin in it, my apologies. And so how do we use it? Really simple. All you need is a toothpick, your base that you're gluing it into. Now, what I used to do, this has been leaking, this doesn't go off until the two bits mix together, so that's why it comes in a double tube thing, and it comes in a dispenser that dispenses, hopefully, if you push carefully on both sides. I think it's the Gorilla one that I've got listed on my Amazon shop. You want to get equal quantities, equal parts, where possible. Okay, and then mix them together, and it's not until they mix together that it starts to create that glue and that setting time starts. But you do need to make sure they mix well together. Eek! Showing you on camera doesn't make it easy. Mix, 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 mix. And as you're mixing, start spreading it around and just get it to go up the sides. Okay. Dunk. And then once you've mixed it, just sit the piece in. And the cool thing is the glue will go squish up and just wipe it off. Wipe it off. Wipe it off. Oops, sorry. And get it nice and clean. And leave it alone. Put it aside and don't touch it until tomorrow. That max bond is 30 hours. Just leave it alone. Make sure you've not got any of the glue underneath before you put it down, otherwise it could glue to something else. But there we have it. Now these are stainless steel backs. I've converted to using the stainless steel backs because here in New Zealand, here in Rotorua, not New Zealand, the sulfur in the air turns the other version of backs icky colours. Well, sometimes they look pretty, but it's not what they're supposed to look like. Alright guys, so there you go. I hope that has been an informative, fun look. I love these two pieces. They are super stunning, and I will be making cards out of both of those. So how does it get any better than this? What else is possible? I adore you guys. Have fun, and I will see you. Oh, I'm going live. I'm going live. This time in 2 days' time we will have been live. So you have got probably 12, maybe 15 hours from when this video goes live to sign up on my newsletter to get the exact time of when we're going live. And come play with me. Come tell me what to do, what colors to use, what style to paint in, what to paint on. I look forward to playing with you guys, and how much fun can we have? Bye bye.